Hey everybody, time for your First Alert Forecast update. I am WIS First Alert Meteorologist Tony Chivaroli. Thank you so much for taking a check of your forecast today. And we need to get into a discussion here in a bigger capacity because as we've been starting to do these, there hasn't been much in the way going on in the morning, but it is a First Alert weather day for today. So now, as we are looking onward into the rest of this Monday, this is going to be something that continues in a way that doesn't really end until we get towards the very much later portions of this day. This is going to be one to want to make sure you are taking serious. It's nothing too crazy in the way of an outbreak of storms, no, but it's what we can total up to with rain and what we can build up to in the way of storm chances. So let's have at it. And in speaking of the rain, I want to start you off right here. What we have for the region: a flood watch. That is going to be in play all across the Midlands as we go through this First Alert weather day. This goes until midnight, okay? So as we're going to talk about this rain, and if you're sticking around with me here, I'm going to track it all through for you as we go through the trials of this Monday. We're getting into this new start to the work and school week. We got to get through this rain, got to get through this storm potential, and this flood watch is in effect for the Midlands and the upstate, mind you, because of what we can see with rain potential that will be, overall in a range of 2 to even as high as 4 inches once all is said and done. That's going to be on the higher end of the spectrum, so it's possible. It's going to be something to watch as we get things to total up. It's more of where we see some thunderstorm activity set up into the day in between all the rain we're already going to see. So that is something I want to make sure you are aware of out there, especially if you live somewhere or you typically travel through more, low-lying spots, areas that are prone to flooding, even when you get, just a moderate amount of rain, not a few inches of rain, say even just 1 to 2 inches. So watch out for that today, please. Into this day, we are going to be getting also, along with that rain threat, gusty winds, a bit more in the way of minor flooding that's going to be trying to be on the uptick as we get a few strong storms to settle on in and go on forward into this day. Basically, we're going to be continuing to see this settle in, go on to a range of more in the way of storm productivity that doesn't want to go away. Excuse me, I had to get out of cough there, everybody. As we are going into more of this, it's trying to basically settle into this range of, okay, we go through these steps of starting out with morning rain, picking up the pace to storm potential, and that is more so going to be around during the afternoon hours of this one. All right, so getting through this Monday, it's all of what we're continuing on to today. And it's really laid out on what you can see with this rain potential. So basically, we just stay with consistent stream of that rain, of moisture. It doesn't go anywhere. It hangs around to the early phases of our afternoon. And then if you could see on this graphic a little bit of that dip in between what we get 5, 6 p.m. getting later into the evening, that's when we finally start to see a shakeup. We work to see some drier and cooler air that eventually wants to win out. That's why we're going to be getting a little bit more of this convective potential, because a cold front is trying to eventually cut across South Carolina. So as this warm and damp air mass settles into our state, it's going to be meeting up with that later. And of course, the old story goes, when we start to get that transition, more instability will be out there, and we can see some storms working to kick up. That colder air is going to try and get under this air mass, force all of that upwards. So, we'll watch out for a little bit more of those storm threats, even though the rain will start to lessen at that point. It's still going to be a time of the day I want to make sure you're paying attention to. So let me time this all out for you, as long as, again, you're following along here. We're continuing into this future cast. As we get towards 10 a.m., it's still more of just a widespread rain. We're starting to see some of that picking up the pace for our southern viewing area, but it's trying to build up a little bit more into the Midlands. It's going to be trying to make a northward push. Up into North Carolina, there's not too much going on up there. This is more of a South Carolina event, Georgia and Florida. So we keep steady with all of this. This is all moisture that's come up out of the Gulf of Mexico. It is going to be settling with us today. Still going to be seeing a little embedded storm chances around lunchtime. We're not going to lose it just yet, though. How about 5 o'clock? So we're wrapping up the workday for a lot of people. A lot of people on the roads at this time of the day. Maybe need to make a run out to the store, go grab dinner, but it's still going to be with us. We're not losing that rain threat just yet. And we're also not going to be losing that storm threat because of what we talked about before, if you recall, that cold front. Watch this. It's not going to be that impressive on the Futurecast. I'm going to say that right now, but this is still going to be a lasting line of showers that a few strong storms could still form along in between 8 and 9 o'clock. I would anticipate by this time things are working to calm down, but I just want to keep stressing that, hey, this is an all-day and evening event. We're not going to be losing the threat to see, anything with rain and storms until we get really past this. So how about past 10 o'clock? Into the night, see you later. Hello, dry air. Hello, chilly winds. It's going to be very breezy in a Tuesday morning. Going to see some wind chills in the 30s. Not actual temperatures, but wind chills in the 30s to start out that day. Beautiful sunshine then breaks out. It is going to be a lovely, lovely Tuesday afternoon. Low temperatures making that change to highs in the low 60s. And then we can do that again on Wednesday, which is, of course, Valentine's Day. Get a nice Valentine's Day gift for you, my friends. How about temperatures in the low 60s again, but with calmer winds? Oh, that Wednesday is going to be a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Could get in some afternoon outdoor plans easily for that one. So here's your First Alert 10-day forecast as we make our move into this. It's still going to be, about this Monday, what we've been really building on up to with this forecast. We hold on with the rain potential throughout the entirety of this day. Got to watch out for storms later, whether it be, again, the flash flooding threat or just water pooling on roadways, even totaling up in areas that are a little bit more prone to flooding over time, and also just the, in general, gusty wind threat that will be around with some of those storms later. So we're going to watch out for that with temperatures on the rise. It is a First Alert weather day because of that point. It is not ending until we get into tonight, and then we see things completely changing pace. It's all about some drier and cooler air, even though those temperatures aren't dropping back too far, but you'll feel that big change as we get into Tuesday and then Valentine's Day, Wednesday. So much sunshine dominates that weather story. Clouds on the increase by the later phases of the week, but we don't see another chance of rain until the start of your weekend. So let's get through again this Monday together. Be smart, be safe out there in your travels. I'll get you back to some more of that sunshine as we look towards Tuesday. This has been a good, I'm hopeful, and informative First Alert forecast update for you. Make it a great and, again, safe Monday.